Hello, hello, friends. It's Christmas week. It's the holidays. I had to get a little festive today. But I thank you for joining me today on T-Cell. I had a brain disappearance for a moment. But thank you for joining me on T-Cell. I appreciate your support each week. I hope if you watch this on replay that you let me know that you're watching on replay. And thank you for those of you who do every week. I appreciate it so, so much. But it is Christmas week. And while it's such a joyful time, it can be a very stressful time too. And it doesn't always feel joyful for everyone. So that's what I want to talk about today. In stressful times, it actually can be really hard to find joy. And so some tips that I'm going to talk through. But one thing to think about is, what are the best moments of your day? And wouldn't you like more of those? So you're going to hear about that a little bit as we go on. Because you really can recognize joyful moments throughout your day with mindfulness. It's a matter of keeping your attention present and truly experiencing all the sensations that you have, such as that first sip of coffee in the morning, or the beautiful sunrise, or the glowing sunset, or even just the warmth of mittens when you're cold outside. So it's noticing those things that can really help you to stay focused and find the little joys in the day. Research actually shows that practicing mindfulness regularly, even just for a few seconds, can make you happier and less stressed. And if you pair that with gratitude, you really get good feelings that wrap around you just like a cozy blanket. So I want to talk about first some of the reasons why this is worth doing this, why you want to practice that happiness or discover that happiness from within, and the benefits it can bring you. So really, if you find happiness within, it's a sustainable happiness. You are not relying on external circumstances or external situations or external possessions to make you happy, because all of those things are transient. They can go away at any time. So by finding happiness within, you're not relying on those external influences, and so it makes it more enduring. It's also going to make you more resilient. We are always going to have stress. We are always going to have bad things that come up or that happen. But if you've been practicing this, if you've been finding that happiness within, if you can find that joy on demand, you're going to bounce back from those challenges easier. It's going to buffer you a little bit and allow you to bounce back more quickly. Excuse me, I have a little bit of cold. It's going to improve your relationships. We all know if we're happier, our relationships are going to be better. If we are moping around and depressed and or negative, thinking negative, our relationships aren't going to be going that well either. So that's one of the benefits of others. You're going to be also less likely to seek validation from others. You already have found that validation from within, and you don't have to rely on those relationships to create that for you. It's going to also help create better self-acceptance. You're going to feel better about yourself. You're going to have a better self-esteem and a better self-image if you can find that happiness within. And you're going to be more open to personal growth. So we always want to be growing. We always want to be growing. If we're not growing, we're dying. So by finding that joy, finding that happiness from within, it makes you more open. It makes you less scared for things that are uncomfortable, and it's going to make you more open to personal growth. And we all know, in our work life, it's going to make you more productive and more creative. When we're focusing on the bad things that happen to us, we cannot open up our mind for that creativity. We're not going to be as productive. And then, of course, the health benefits. So you have pain and your cardiovascular system, and all of those, your immune system, all of those things are improved when you're happy, when you're fine, when you're joyful. So there's a book by, what's his name? Chaedman Chan. It's called Joy on Demand. And, you know, finding happiness isn't always an easy journey, but it can be deeply rewarding. And this Tan guy in Joy on Demand believes that happiness can be trained, that we can train ourselves to find that happiness within. And he gives practical, easy, quickly accessible advice to help with that. It's a really good book. And so he has a few simple exercises, and that's what I want to talk about right now. So there's just 3 exercises that you can do that are easy and just take a few seconds to help create that joy in the moment. And actually, if you practice these regularly, even just for those few seconds, few moments throughout the day, it is going to make a big difference in your life. You guys have heard me talk about my journey of negativity, and it took training. I have been trained. I have learned to be able to find joy in situations, to be able to practice gratitude, and to live a happier life. It's made a huge, huge difference in my life. So the 3 exercises that he talks about in this book, Joy on Demand, one is, he calls it, look for thin slices of joy. Hi, Lori. Thanks for joining. Thanks for hopping on. We're talking about finding happiness within. He calls it, look for thin slices of joy. So notice, it's really that awareness, that mindfulness, finding the noticing, not even hunting for, but just noticing the joyful moments through the day, however small, however fleeting, just noticing that first sip of coffee and how good that tastes, or at your, you know, you're out at a restaurant, that first bite of that yummy meal, the feeling of the warm water on you when you take a shower, that good feeling of that, or when you wash your face or your hands or whatever, just really being mindful of those and delighting in those little small comforts. They're tiny thin slices, but they add up. And the more you notice the joy, the more you're going to experience joy. His second exercise is 10 seconds of loving kindness. He talks a lot in his book about loving kindness and what that means, and how loving kindness actually leads to greater compassion too. So what he's talking about, that is taking 10 seconds, you're at work, you're walking down the street, you're wherever, and you see people, and pick out 2 people in that room, in that workplace, 2 strangers that you see out, and think to yourself, I wish for you to be happy. And just smile to yourself and just send that blessing out to them. I wish for this person to be happy. I wish for that person to be happy. That's it. That's all it takes. But practicing that, it's kind of like that idea of smiling at people, and they smile back, and it makes you feel good. This isn't even taking it that far. This is just in your own mind. You're not saying it out to anybody, but you're just kind of sending out that wish for happiness. And you emerge from that smiling. You emerge for that happier than before, because you're giving kindness in the end, and that's rewarding. And then his third exercise is 1 mindful breath. So he talks about doing this for a minute at a time, but at least doing 1 mindful breath, a total and gentle attention to your inhale and to your exhale. So, and then if you have time to do it for a minute. So let's all go, let's take a minute to do that 1 breath. We're going to do a full inhale, hold it for a second or 2, and then an exhale. All right. So we're going to go. There. Don't you feel better already? So it's little things that you can do, little things that you can practice that can make such a difference in bringing out that, or discovering, you know, it's in there. You just haven't found it. Discovering that happiness within, choosing joy, and the practice of that makes a world of difference in your life. It can totally change your life around. It has totally changed my life around. So I hope you find these tips helpful. Let me know if you have any questions about them. This is the book. It's called Joy on Demand, The Art of Discovering Happiness Within. It was a New York bestseller. I don't know when, a few years ago. But it's an interesting read, and he has some good practical, easy tips. So thanks for joining me on Tease Tal. And I hope you guys all have happy holidays. Practice these things to deal with the stress. Just take a moment, slow down, take a moment for yourself. We'll all get through it. We'll all have a better experience for taking those moments. So thanks for joining me on Tease Tal, and I'll see you next week. All right, bye-bye.